All right, hey everybody. Thanks for being here. Sorry about the previous thing. I have no idea. I really didn't do anything. I just recreated this stream, and now everything seems to be working. So, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Wanted to give a video today. As you know, gun rights is something that I talk about all the time, and when I see or hear something stupid, I like to talk about it, and that's what we're doing today. Don't mind all this stuff. I got to ship out some stuff. I didn't realize that was in the camera either. But anyway, so Governor Walz today signed 2 executive orders on gun control, and as is typical for the left, there is absolutely nothing to it. Let me see if I can pick this up a little bit. I got this new Razer camera, which is actually pretty awesome. But anyway, there we go. A little bit better. At least you're not seeing my hand mess with the mouse and everything. And I want to talk about those. So here's kind of what he said today first. So we're going to go into what he said. And there's a lot of media attention, of course, because the media loves talking about gun control. And anytime a politician does anything, no matter how shallow it is, the media will ultimately praise as this great thing. So after he did the signing ceremony, this is what he said right here.
To carve a path here, especially on this gathering of data, especially making this about an insurance issue and the cost to it. And then I think all of you are making the connections here, connecting it back to the manufacturers who are flooding the streets with these cheap weapons of war to try and get them out to make a profit. We'll make sure that there's an accountability around that.
Let me play that one more time. It's a quick clip. Just listen to this, because we're going to delve into exactly what these this executive order does.
To carve a path here, especially on this gathering of data, especially making this about an insurance issue and the cost to it. And then I think all of you are making the connections here, connecting it back to the manufacturers who are flooding the streets with these cheap weapons of war to try and get them out to make a profit. We'll make sure that there's an accountability around that.
It cracks me up, cheap weapons of war. It's interesting because the dialogue changes and the terminology changes quite a bit when it comes to firearms. They're always the left is always experimenting with what's going to work regarding going after guns, right? And so now of course the big thing is weapons of war. It used to be assault weapons, but yeah, everybody's like, assault's a verb. And it's just stupid, because what is an assault weapon? Now we've got this thing like weapons of war, and which is interesting, because I've also heard things like military grade weapons. By the way, folks, a quote military grade weapon means a weapon built by the lowest bidder, right? Believe me, my weapons are much better than military grade because I take care of them. I put them together myself. And they work, and they're not overpriced. My AR-15, if it was a military grade weapon, would cost $15,000 and be half as good. So that's just sort of one of the things. But I want to talk about, so he's got 2 executive orders. One is 25-12 and one is 25-13. And we're going to go to these separately and individually, because I really want you to see sort of what this actually says. Now, we've got this preamble, which is just about everything. Oh my gosh, access to firearms is bad, and we need to do something about gun violence prevention legislation. And so he says he urges his legislators to pass the ban on assault weapons and high capacity magazines. In other words, standard capacity magazines, right? Is what he's talking about. But as you saw just now in Australia, these guys were using bolt action rifles and quickly reloading these bolt action rifles that had all of about 10 rounds in them. It doesn't matter, but we're going to call these things high capacity magazines. They're standard capacity magazines. It's just absolute stupidity here. So then he talks about these risk protection orders, and how risk protection orders have been great, and they're doing all these things. And Minnesotans have already utilized the risk protection order law over 400 times across the state, which has saved lives. Show me the data on that. Show me the data on how a risk protection order has saved anybody. And I'm going to show you here in a second sort of how that works. I'm going to at least discuss how he says it works. And then, of course, he says here, we know. No, we don't. No, we don't. The very last paragraph there, we know that firearms are the leading cause of death in the United States for children and young adults. See, it used to be just children. It used to be just children, but that's in order to make the argument, to say that guns are the leading cause, not car accidents. They had to include 18 and 19-year-olds. And of course, so they got called out on that. Oh, you're saying children, and teenagers, but you're including 18 and 19-year-old people in that. And so now, of course, they say it's the leading cause among children and young adults now. So anything to make their claim, but also keep in mind that the majority of this stuff is suicide. So let me ask you a question. If the majority of these deaths are by firearm, right? What does it matter if you have a 30-round magazine or a 1-round magazine if you commit suicide? Doesn't it just take one? Is that going to stop suicides? No, it's not going to stop suicides. Look at the states that have these so-called magazine capacity limits, and do they have lower death rates? No, they don't. So it's just stupid. Here's the second page of this. It's, finally, we need to understand the financial impact that guns have on our communities, and our, numerous cities have considered legislation and blah, 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 blah. So they go through some, his thing goes through some definitions, as if we don't know what a state agency is, as if we don't know what an ERPO is. Maybe some people don't know what an ERPO is, the Extreme Risk Protection Order. What is a firearm? Oh my goodness. Although, if you ask the ATF, they probably don't even know what a firearm is. And then they've got the definition of an insurance company. And this is going to come important because of what's going to be coming up on here. So here's his executive order. To promote and improve the effective implementation of the ERPO law, DPS will do this: develop guidance documents to describe the ERPO law. So in other words, what he's saying is, hey, DPS, Department of Public Safety, what I need you to do is I need you to help the people to turn in more Americans so that we can take more Americans' guns. That's what that really is. So I need you to create documents and have guidance on there on how more people can take advantage of stealing people's guns and keep people who are not convicted of any crimes from being able to possess a firearm because someone said so. And under the Minnesota law, anyone can make a recommendation to have someone's guns taken. So, all right. And then by February 1st, what the DPS has to do is publish on its website. Now, this is kind of good. I mean, it's good for you and me because we can see, and hopefully the voters in Minnesota can see. And I think I put Wisconsin. Did I put Wisconsin? I might have to change. Okay, no, I didn't. He's Minnesota. I don't know. Minnesota, Wisconsin. It's one of those northern states. Do we really care what they're called? Other than Montana. Montana is like the northern front of the southern resistance. But so, how many petitions were filed in each county in the state? This is going to be published on its website for everyone to see. The number of ERPO petitions that are granted in each county in the state. And this is going to be important because we're going to see, all right, you've got all these people who are trying to use the process. Are these all getting granted, or is the process not working, or is it working as intended, which is to disarm as many people as possible? And then, of course, the number of petitions denied, as if we can't, add and subtract petitions filed, petitions granted. You take petitions filed, you subtract petitions granted. Guess what you come up with? The number denied. All right. But maybe they want denied because maybe there are just some out there that haven't been granted or denied. They're just kind of floating out there. How many are floating out there? And also it needs to collect, host, and share training and educational resources on how to use ERPO laws. And they're supposed to, these are going to be for law enforcement people, prosecutors, judges, courts, victim service personnel, healthcare professionals. So now we've got the healthcare. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If your doctor is asking you about guns in your home, get a new doctor. You do not need your doctor. You are there for a health reason. You are there for your doctor to conduct a physical, to figure out why you're bleeding, to wonder how to get the bullet out of your chest from some liberal that decided to shoot up your school or your gun-free zone that you're in. You don't need the doctor to ask you about guns in your home. So if your doctor is asking you about guns in the home, no matter where you are, get yourself a new doctor. But that they're trying to use these healthcare professionals, mental health crisis professionals, and also educators. This is going to be key, because coming up in a little bit, as we get more into this, you're going to see that really the only sinister thing about this whole thing is really trying to brainwash the children and scare the children. And then by May 1st, also, they need to assess the effectiveness of the ERPO laws, which they're going to find that I guarantee you the ERPO laws, because it was just passed. I think he put in here that they were passed 2024. So last year, the ERPO laws were passed. You can go back and look. I don't think the 2025 numbers are out yet, but you take the 2024 numbers when they passed these extreme risk protection orders, and you look at 2024, and then you look at this year, 2025, since it's almost over. Once they publish those statistics, I imagine they'll probably be out around March, February timeframe. If not, maybe a little bit sooner. I don't know how long that's going to take them to do. And then assess whether or not taking people's guns is actually lowering crime. Hint, it's not going to. So then he says, so that's this is his grand scheme here, right? This is his great executive order. What are we going to do? Study the problem. I am going to fight. I'm going to combat so-called gun violence by enforcing current laws and making up statistics and making studies, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing here that he's going to do is promote the safe storage of firearms. Anyway, I don't even know what this MDE is. I've been trying to find where, and I think I missed it. Maybe I was just, oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, Department of Education. Duh. So they're going to develop and provide to the Department of Education, MDE, the Department of Education, best practices that include information about the safe storage of firearms, such as what are the Minnesota laws, what are you required to do, what are the different ways to safely store a gun, as if gun owners don't know that. See, the problem is liberals think and gun grabbers think that gun owners are just fucking idiots because they're such fucking idiots that they think everybody's just like them. And because they can't trust themselves with a gun, they don't think they can trust anyone else with a gun. And apparently we don't know how to use a safe, a lock, the safety. Anyway, so provide digital copies of this information to the board. Oh, and by the way, all of this information must be in English, Spanish, and Somali. Because you know, we unlike other countries, we just can't have one official language. So, and then provide all those, and they need to go into each school district, and each school district has to send out copies of this informational packet about safe storage of guns to every student's parent. I don't want my kids going to school and bringing me, don't bring me papers about gun control. Just don't bring it to me. Really, the only gun control that should be taught in school is breathing techniques, keeping the gun aimed at a safe direction, Don't point it at anything that you don't want to demolish, and keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to pull it. And then, of course, don't pull it unless you have a legal reason to do so. That's safe. That's gun control right there. That's how you handle guns, and you teach gun safety in our schools. I think every single child, if we gave real gun safety training to every student by 10th grade, and heck, I'd probably say a little bit earlier than that too. I mean, I taught my kids since they were 8 how to shoot and be safe with guns, and how to handle them, and when not to handle them, and what to do if they see one that is unattended and stuff like that. And amazingly, my kids never shot anybody, never shot up a school, because they were taught to respect firearms, not fear them. And then you've got the Department of Data or of Commerce data call. Again, this is more study this, study that, find out what it's cost. But here's the is this the one, or is it the other one that had the insurance? No, this is it, the insurance. So the Minnesota Department of Commerce will, and again, it's just more studying. More studies. This is what, remember when Biden supposedly passed the Bipartisan Safety Communities Act, by the way, that John Cornyn signed on to. And by the way, John Cornyn here in Texas is up for re-election. So remember, John Cornyn signed on to the Democrats' gun safety, gun control bill. But let's be honest, even though John Cornyn was signing on to a gun control bill, that bill did absolutely nothing. It created an office that was a waste of money, made people feel good, and did absolutely zip. It did nothing. It accomplished nothing. It solved nothing. It was just there to make leftists feel good about themselves. But now what they want to do is they're demanding, this executive order is going to force insurance companies to provide data and contracts. And as you can see there in 5AI, requiring, so use its authority under Minnesota statutes to issue a data call requiring all insurance companies writing homeowners insurance in Minnesota to submit detailed policy and claims data involving firearms. What does that mean? I have no idea. What I think they're trying to do is he's going to try and show that guns, the presence of firearms makes you pay more for insurance. And so we've got to get rid of firearms to save Americans money. Or he's, I don't know, going to show, I don't know. I really don't know what the whole point of that is. I'm not a leftist, so I think rationally. And because I can't see a rational reason why they would need this, that's the only argument that I can come up with, is that I think they're just trying to show that there's a cost, that gun ownership creates a cost. But, if somebody breaks into my home and steals a gun, and I file a homeowners or a rental insurance claim because my guns were stolen, because it's covered under my policy, and you're more concerned about the fact that I made a claim for my firearms and that insurance had to pay that out, and that added to some magical number that's going to show that guns are bad, but your focus is not the fact that there's people breaking into homes and stealing guns, which is the real crime. Why don't we study that? Why are people breaking into homes? So anyway, that's what the first one does. It does nothing but, hey, let's study this issue. Let's create documents that tell people what the law is and how to use the law, right? And it's going to be just as ineffective as anything else. So then you've got 2513. This is the second executive order that he signed. And guess what? Guess what this one does? It creates a safety council for people to study stuff. So this is nothing any different than a state level version of the bogus Bipartisan Safer Communities Act that created the White House Council on Gun Violence, or whatever they called that thing, whatever communist name they came up for it. So the objective of this council is to create an immediate action plan to prevent mass violence, targeted attacks, and domestic terrorism. And of course, in Tim Walz's mind, domestic terrorism means how do we go after white males? That's what it means. And then strategies to combat radicalization. I can tell you, look, Governor Walz, all you had to do was ask me about that one. I mean, B is very simple. If you really want to combat radicalization, politically motivated violence, extremist ideologies, just abolish the Democrat Party. That's all you got to do. Just abolish the Democrat Party. And then anybody that was a member of the Democrat Party, well, with exceptions. I mean, there's some good Democrats out there. Yes, there are. So with exceptions, and then just take all of those people and throw them onto Epstein Island and just leave them there. Like erase it from Google Maps and Google Earth. Just make that island kind of disappear. Throw all the Democrats on it. The problem will take care of itself. I promise you. Epstein Island will become the epicenter of radicalization, political motivated violence, because the leftists can't even stand themselves. They can't stand each other. So there's your strategy to combat radicalization, domestic terrorism, politically motivated violence, and extremist ideologies. Address the intersection of mental health and gun violence. First of all, gun violence is a myth. My guns don't hurt anybody. They never have. I think they're defective. I'm not sure. I did have a long talk with them after the Australia shooting that, hey, watch the news, pay attention, because, if you see that I'm on the beach and there's a shooting, I need you to break out of wherever I keep you and run to my aid so that you can take out, because I mean, gun violence, apparently guns can create violence. There's also something called gun deaths. So apparently guns are dying at a very high rate. And that's something that we really need to look into, is the death of guns, gun deaths. All right. Promote and support a threat assessment and threat management teams across Minnesota. Okay. Why don't they have those now? Every government should have threat assessments and threat management teams. Every government in the world should already have that. Why do we need Tim Walz to make an executive order to tell government to do what government should be doing? That was my whole job in the military, was doing threat assessments. Coordinate with federal, state, and local partners to align efforts and share best practices. Best practices for what? Taking people's guns? Okay. Make policy and funding recommendations to the governor on what? I guess getting rid of the Democrat Party. Let's hope. And then they've got to meet monthly. Submit a report within 90 days, and then a final report. So a preliminary report within 90. You got 3 months. Submit a preliminary report about something, and then in a year, give me a final report about something, whatever that is. And then it just talks about kind of who is on this, but it's very telling who's on this list here. A lot of police associations, and so Chiefs of Police Association, the Sheriff's Association, essentially the biggest statists and authoritarians they can find are on this list of who's going to be on the Safety Council. And then he just says it's, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the big announcement, that Governor Walz of Minnesota, that's his big gun control plan. His big gun control plan is to study gun control, study things, study people dying, and figure out how to take more guns from people. And then let's recommend more laws, as if the recommendations are going to be any different than anything Democrats are already trying to do every single time they meet to pass laws and write laws and all of that. That it's literally, so this one is 5 pages. The other one was 3 pages, I guess. Well, 2 pages and a signature block. So you've got 7 pages of absolute nonsense. Okay, 6 pages, because I think the first one, it was mostly a signature block on the last page as well, of absolute nonsense that will accomplish absolutely nothing. But everyone is praising the bravery and the forward-thinkingness of Governor Walz, who's throwing out these executive orders that do zip. There's an easy way to combat extremism and radicalization and politically motivated violence, and that is to fucking carry a gun and defend your life. Be there as the first responder. You are the first responder. And that's the best way to do it. And again, if you start that education process at the middle school or junior high level, I don't know if every state has junior high or not. I know Florida did. I went to junior high. I went to what was it? Not Lee. It was Jefferson Davis. I went to I went to Jefferson Davis Junior High School, and then I went to Nathan Bedford Forrest High School. So if you don't know who Nathan Bedford Forrest is, just do a Google search. That's the high school I went to, by the way. As you know, under the wokest agenda, the woke agenda, Nathan Bedford Forrest High School no longer exists, and neither does Jefferson Davis Junior High School. So both of the schools that I went to do not exist anymore because they were named after great generals, and we can't have great generals having schools named after them. So it used to be a great school, and it's not anymore. So there you go. There is Governor Walz's big agenda. There's his big gun control plan. And remember, now that we've told you, I've shown you with I mean, look, this is his signature right there. This is what he signed yesterday. I guess it was yesterday. I guess the news is just hitting today. I don't know. Or maybe I've been busy in court. So you've got that one, and then this one that he signed right there. And I'm pretty sure his signature looks like that because he doesn't know how to spell his own name. But now that we know that these two documents are nothing but fluff, let's once more close this out by listening to what he says it's going to do.
To carve a path here, especially on this gathering of data, especially making this about an insurance issue and the cost to it. And then I think all of you are making the connections here, connecting it back to the manufacturers who are flooding the streets with these cheap weapons of war to try and get them out to make a profit. We'll make sure that there's an accountability around that.
Show me where in any of those documents there was anything about accountability for so-called cheap weapons of war, whatever a weapon of war is. My bayonet was a weapon of war. My Beretta 9mm was a weapon of war. My M4, of course, was a weapon of war. My AT4 was a weapon of war. My thermite grenades were weapons of war. Now, obviously, I don't have an AT4. I wish I did. I would love to have an AT4. I'd love to build a moat around my property as well and put up, giant observation posts and just, actually create a nice little compound. But we all know what happens when you build a nice compound. Just ask Randy Weaver and the people up in Waco. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to get this done in less than 30 minutes. So I've got 2 minutes left. And one of the things I want to tell you is if you go to Etsy and you type in Open Carry Texas, I need to change the name. I just keep the same Etsy, even though I don't have Open Carry Texas stuff on there anymore. But if you want to get one of these hats, I have these in black and I have them in white. For those of you who don't know, my Aransas Pass case, I represented myself during that trial where I was charged with disrupting a government meeting by disorderly conduct. I got a 5-to-1 jury verdict of not guilty. There was one juror that completely violated the jury instructions that she was given, which is why I thought, okay, it really, had she done that, it would have been 6-0 based on her own words. And I would have been acquitted totally, but I got a 5-to-1 not guilty. So 5 not guilty, 1 juror said guilty. And now the prosecutors are going to retry it. They're going to retry it again. I think I'm probably going to go back to trial in February or March. And they're going to try to get me again for saying fuck too many times at a city council meeting during my city council public comment period. I did file my lawsuit against the city and against Chief Blanchard, but I'm selling these caps because I need to buy the transcripts. And I only bought, I think I only had about 30 of these made, and I've got a bunch of black ones, and I've got some white ones with the black stitching. So this is actual embroidery. It's not something cheap. It's going to stay in there. These are really high quality hats. But go to Etsy, type in Open Carry Texas, find it. You can buy yourself a black hat or a white hat. Those transcripts cost me over $2,000. They're going to cost me. I also have a Give Send Go. If you do GiveSendGo .com/transcript. Oh crap! Just look up CJ Grisham transcripts or something on Give Send Go. I'm also trying to raise that money because I mean $2,400 is a lot of money. but I need those transcripts. That's why I created something you can buy, or if you just want to donate, you can donate to this channel as well. Underneath this video, I've got some funds there, but if you don't tell me that you're sending money through one of those Venmo, Cash App, or whatever, that it's going towards the transcripts, I put it into my pro bono fund. It helps me pay for gas and food and hotels when I'm helping people on pro bono cases. It helps to pay for all those expenses on that, as well as some filing fees sometimes. But you can get these on Etsy, and I've only got about 30 of these hats that I had made. I'm just trying to do everything I can to raise the money to get the transcripts, because what I want to do is have the transcripts of those trials for two purposes. One is, of course, impeachment purposes, to catch them lying and changing their stories during the second trial. And the second is to assist with my civil lawsuit against the city and Chief Blanchard. So do those things. Let me go really quick. So you can leave now. We're all done. I'm just going to see if there's some questions in the chat, because I don't have time to look through those. Are you going to address the deadly crashes caused by undocumented aliens? No, I'll just say that, you know, more people would be alive if we had secured our borders. But thankfully, we're getting rid of all these illegal aliens. And I think we also need to get rid of some of these naturalized citizens who we've given citizenship to, who don't give a shit about this country. If you're flying a foreign flag, which I do whatever you want, but if you're pledging allegiance to another country, sorry, you know, we need to cut off this dual citizenship crap. Yes, I'm a nationalist. Hate me, I don't care. We need to cut off this dual citizenship crap. I can't have dual citizenship in Texas and Florida so that I can vote in two different places. Why should I be able to have citizenship in two different countries where I've got allegiance to two different countries? So anyway, there's my comments on that. Law enforcement loves to take guns away from good law-abiding citizens. Absolutely. I know that firsthand because I defend people every day. Let's see. Just making sure that I didn't miss any comments here. Let's see. Criminals don't follow the laws. Yeah, I know. It's a weird thing. You know, and I've done a lot of research. I've found the reason why criminals don't follow laws. Did you know that there's not a single state in the nation that has a law that says citizens are required to follow the law? That's the problem. If we just create a law that says citizens need to follow the law, we can stop robberies, murders, theft, all kinds of, I mean, crime would disappear if all we had was just a law that tells people to follow the law. Right now, we've got all these laws out there, but there's no law telling us to follow the law. And really, that's what we need. That will solve everything. Let's see. Any opinions on United States v. Hamani? I don't know what that is. I have to look that one up. I'm not sure what that case is about, but I will go look that up and see if maybe it's worthy of a video. Okay, I don't see anything else here. Let's see. Are they going to address the blah, blah, blah? No one got caught with child porn. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you see a conviction? Where's the conviction? Dumbass WD first. Where's the conviction? Let me ask you a question there, WD first, because I'm gonna get into this with you. I'll get into this with you, absolutely. Because I'm not going to talk about I'm not going to talk about who I defend and who I don't defend, and who my clients are and who they aren't. But let me ask you this: when in the comments, go ahead and put this in the comments, because I'm gonna put you on the record here. Right here. All right. When did he get caught with supposedly child porn? When did that happen? When did that happen? Just give me a date or a general time frame. When was that? I'm waiting. Still waiting. Wait. When did he get charged? When did he get arrested? When did he get arrested? Come on. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll give you a few seconds. When did the sheepdog get arrested under those allegations? Anything? Bueller? Come on. I mean, you're asking me questions. Let's have a dialogue. Let's go. All right, guys, this is going to be fun. Watch the comments. Watch the comments. Tell me, when did he get arrested for that? Come on. I mean, is the comment there and I don't see it, or are you just a dumbass and you can't answer the question? I mean, you wanted to have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Come on. Come on. Everybody help him in the chat. Maybe he doesn't understand English. Anybody got, maybe answer. I'm asking you a question. When I'm going to educate you, motherfucker. So when did the sheepdog get arrested? When? Or charged? Arrested or charged? Either one. When? This is gonna be a long video if dumbass there WD First isn't gonna answer questions. Come on, I mean, come on. You said right there, the one who got caught with CP, which by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is child porn. The sheepdog creep. All right, just come on. I'll put your answer up there. I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna hide it. Just when did it happen? When did it happen? Where is it? When did he get charged? When did he get arrested for child porn? Do I need to put music on? Well, that would probably get my video taken down. Man, you put like, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops, sorry. 6 comments there, but can't answer a simple question. When did this happen? Just I don't even need sources. I don't even want sources. I just want you to pretend that you have 2 brain cells to rub together. When did this happen? What's on the screen right now? When was he charged or arrested? When did he get caught with child porn? He's got all those. Look at that. 6 in a row. 6 comments in a row. Oh, he got, okay. He got what? May 24th when? What, this year? May 24th when? When, fuckstick? May 24th of this year? Which year? Which year? Oh, 2024. That's interesting. Okay. And what year? Just help me out here, because I'm a moron. So I really need you. I need you to help me, because I'm a moron. I mean, you said it. You said it. You said it there. You said it there. Was there another place? No, you said it there. All right. So I'm a moron. So help me. What year are we in right now? What year is this? Just an easy question. You can even call me a moron again. I don't care. Just tell me what year we are in. What year is about to be over? What year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? And then alt mowing, I really need Wilma Dick Fit to get the dick that fits up his ass to just remove that for a minute, so that they can answer the question. I really need that person. Come on, no, come on. What year is this right now? Because I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to help you to answer the question for me. So tell me, what year are we in right now? These are very simple questions. Even I'm a moron. I really don't know what year we're in, because I am such a moron. You've got it right there. It's right there. Look, moron. I'm a moron. Just help me. Help this moron know what year we're in right now. Anything? It's a very simple question. I mean, I think most people out there know. Here in a second, I'll get you. I'll get you going. Come on. What year are we in? 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 Come on. Come on. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to educate you. Yes, I am a grandpa. Actually, a really good grandpa. I prefer Pop Pop. That's what I go by. My grandkids call me Pop Pop. Yeah, I'm a grandpa. If you keep your dicks out of dogs, you could probably one day be a grandpa too. But so tell me what year. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what, alt mowing is going to help you out here. We are in 2025 now. Alt mowing, because WD First here doesn't seem to know how to answer any questions. And I'm about to ask a very difficult question to WD First here. All right. I'm about to ask a very, very difficult question to WD First. Okay. What I want you to do is, because you mentioned up here, it was May of 2024. Now, I want you might be able to do this with two hands, but you might have to take your shoes off to count a couple of toes, okay? From May 2024 to right now, and I'll make this easy. I'm not going to ask you for hard things like the number of days, but how many months is that? From May 2024 to right now in this moment in time. Just give me months. I don't need days. And you don't even have to be, if it's like 10 and 1 week, just call it 11 months. If it's 10 and 3 weeks, call it 11 months. Whatever the number is, just tell me how long has it been from now subtracting back to May 2024? And I'll tell you what, we're going to show who's smarter, you or alt mowing. So who can come up with that answer quicker? How many months has it been since May 2024? There you go. Alt mowing is. I knew you'd be smarter. I knew you'd be smarter than WD First. You're right. It's been 19 months. All right. So, you say that Jack was arrested and or charged in May of 2024. Let me ask you this question. Where's the case? Where's the case? WD First, where's the indictment? Because that's a felony. Where's the indictment? WD First, can you give me the indictment? When was he indicted for that? For possession of child porn? That's a really that should be a really easy question, because you obviously follow this case so closely. You are so invested in child pornography that you follow this. So just tell me, when was he indicted? When was between May 2024 and now? When was he indicted? And while you try to figure that out, I'm going to staple some papers here because I've got a few more cases tomorrow. You know what? I'm even going to give you a little extra time because I've got so much shit on my desk. I don't know where my stapler is. So just, if you can just let the chat know when TX Sheepdog was indicted. Just let me know. Just let me know. If you can. I mean, it's been 19 months. So give or take. Just let me know when he was indicted. We all anxiously await your wisdom on this, WD First. All right? We all anxiously await your wisdom. Man, it must suck being you. You must hate that I'm calling you out this way and making you so yeah. So go ahead. I'm waiting. I've not given an update on Sheepdog. I don't talk about my clients until a case is resolved or there is a case. Hint, 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 hint. I'm waiting on WD First to tell me what this case is that he's talking about. Because obviously, if he was arrested in May 2024 and it is December 2025, which, as I am showing here on the screen, thanks to the actual intelligent people in the chat, is a 19-month difference. Oh, here we go. Hang on a second. Oh, that's your answer? No. I am. I'm a loser. I'm a moron. I'm raging. I'm you're saying that TX Sheepdog is charged with child porn. I'm asking you, where's the indictment? When did he say he fired me? I'm waiting on that too. But let's stick to one question at a time. One question at a time. When was he indicted? Just, I mean, it's public. Indictments are public. It shouldn't be hard to find. So where is it? Where's Just tell me when he was indicted. Let me pull out my file here. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't care, because I know the answers to all these questions. I just I'm a moron, so I'm just asking you to help this moron along. Let's see. This is my motion to suppress tomorrow. This is my motions in opposition to the state's motion for joinder of parties, which I'm opposing. Let's see. I'm waiting for you to show us where the diddler is. Where's the diddler? Who's you're saying that TX Sheepdog is a kitty diddler and is charged with child porn. I'm just asking you, where's the indictment? You yourself. Let's go back. For those of you just joining us, the genius here, known as Whittle Dick, educated everybody on the fact that TX Sheepdog was arrested in May 24th. I actually gave, wow, you're like so smart. You even found the exact day. Damn. I wish I was like you. I really do. I wish I was like you. Man, I could be such a great attorney if I knew as much as you did that he got arrested on May 24th for child porn. It's 2025. You didn't know that. You weren't, Alt Mowing had to let you know that we're in the year 2025. He educated you on that there. And then he also educated you on the fact that it's been 19 months since May of 2024 when you say he was arrested for child porn. Now you say right here that I'm still trying to figure out what's this case you're talking about? Where is it? Oh, look who's moving the goalpost now. Look who's moving the goalpost now. No, don't talk about someone else. Let's stick to what you talked about here. Okay, we're not talking about no. We're not going to move on like that. We're not going to move on like that. You're asking this question. This was your matter of fact statement here. The one who got caught with CP, child porn, the sheepdog creep. I'm still waiting on you to tell me when he was indicted for that. Well, okay, show me the charge then. Show me the charge. Show me the charge. Where's the charge at? Where's the charge? Come on, when was he charged? You do realize, I hope. I mean, you might not. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. How many people have been arrested without a charge? Tell me. Just tell me. All right. You know what? I'm going to show some mercy for everybody else. I think I've made my point. Ladies and gentlemen, there are none. There are none. There can't be. Because in order to be charged with a felony, you have to be indicted. That's not only our law in the state of Texas, that is the Constitution. You cannot be charged with a felony except by an indictment, a presentment to a grand jury. And dumb fuck here, not you, Papa Meatball. I'm actually just giving you the thing here. But dumb fuck here. Who's lying? Who's lying, fuckstick? Who's lying, Wilma Dick Fits in your dog? Where's the charge? Show me the charge. Do you know how many times I've been arrested and not charged with anything? An arrest is not a charge, motherfucker. I mean, it's like, that's law. You don't even have to go to law school to learn that. I guarantee you, who, okay, in the chat, put one if you knew and you know that people get arrested and never charged. Just put a 1 in there. If you know that an arrest is not a charge. If you don't know that, put 2. If this is new, if this is something you just learned, and don't feel bad about it, maybe I'm educating you. But if you just learned that an arrest is not a charge, put 2. But if you know that an arrest does not equal a charge, unlike dumb fuck here, Wilma dick fits in his ass. I think I just proved you wrong. All right, guys. There you go. Now let me tell you this. Let me also educate dumb fuck Wilma dick fits in his ass. My job as an attorney is to defend anybody that hires me. Period. That's my job. If I defend a murder suspect, that doesn't mean I support murder. If I defend someone who is charged with interrupting a government proceeding, that doesn't mean I support interrupting a government proceeding. If I defend someone who's charged with, I mean, you name the crime out there, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I do a lot of those. Doesn't mean that I support aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It's called being an attorney, fuckstick. I mean, I realize you're not smart enough to understand that. I know that when your entire life is about walking around with anal plugs, like Wilma Dickfit, that it's impossible to be very well educated. So to say that I support, I'm waiting for anyone, especially you, motherfucker. This dumbass here. He just said, where's the charges? Where's the charges? I'm a wannabe attorney working out of their kitchen. What kitchen? This is let me show you. Let me show you my. You guys are gonna love that. You guys haven't seen my office before, have you? This is my sink. I do have a sink over here, but I don't use it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be building and just making that a. But there is a sink right there. This is my great, Star Wars collection. Let me get my hat out of the way here. There's my great pop figure collection. There's my record collection over there. Being an attorney, I'm constantly, and this is just my office right here. I'm constantly sitting at a computer, just typing all the time. And so one of the things that I do is I play records instead of Apple, instead of just doing iTunes. And so this gets me up every 15 minutes or so because I got to turn the record over. Right now I'm listening to Shinedown. You can see what's playing up there. Listen to Shinedown. Over here I've got my Batman and Superman type collection stuff. Up there are the Iron Maiden, one of my favorite bands in high school, Iron Maiden. The pop figures that were signed by the guy who created Eddie, the guy that's on all the Iron Maiden albums. Those are signed by the guy that did that. Hang on, let me get rid of dumbass here. There we go. These are the hats that I just ordered. My office is a mess because guess what I'm doing? I'm shipping stuff right now. I'm getting ready to ship a bunch of hats out that people have bought. Oh, here's my computer. Here's my setup right here. This is my law office stuff. My setup right there. Got my AR-15 up here. That right there. And then I've got this display case has got all my Star Wars scenes from the Bradford Exchange. So those are limited edition things. A few more Star Wars Legos up there. I'm a DC fan. I love it. There's my toilet. There's my bathroom. To my office. Back beyond that door, on the other side of that door, is my waiting room. I've got a waiting room back there. Back here is my storage and where I keep my microwave and my Tootsie Rolls and all that kind of stuff. This is just a cabinet. There's my Metallica and Justice for All statue from the And Justice for All concert. Love that. This is my pop figure that I made for myself. Who's that? Better Call Saul. That's right. Love that guy. Hilarious stuff, man. Me and my wife. I made pop figures about me and my wife right there. And, some military things over here. Little things that. So, yeah, there you go. Yep, working out of my kitchen. Definitely a kitchen. All right, guys. And let's see. That's it. So thanks for joining us. I'm glad that we could educate. And by the way, I'm hardly ever in this office because let's see. Yesterday I was at Fort Worth. Today I was in Coryell County. Tomorrow, thankfully, I'm local, but I've got three cases tomorrow. I'm local. I'm rarely in this office, so I only open this up by appointment only. What's interesting is, people calling my office a dump. Could never afford an office like this, and so whatever. I don't care, even if it is a dump. Some of the most brilliant people have a very cluttered life. All right, so what are your thoughts on the Beretta 92 FS? I'm not a big Beretta fan. Just not a big Beretta fan. So I don't understand what this is, Half Truths. I don't know if you're talking to me or someone else. This terrible for your name, stop while yo. I don't know what that means. What do you got against gay people? Attorney equals toilet. Yeah, you're right. I mean, most attorneys are toilets. They're trash. I can't stand most attorneys. That's why I became an attorney. If you were smart enough, you'd be able to do that too. I know a lot of y'all are, I love my trolls. I do. But at least, guess who came out on top today? You just made a bunch of claims that you couldn't back up. All right, guys. Hey, take care. Be safe, be free. And, I'll show you a couple of neat little gadgets that I have on here. I collect gold, silver. These are little copper, 999 fine copper that's made into like a Raptor. 1 ounce of pure copper. I love that. I keep that right next to me. And then the SR71. I thought that's pretty cool too. 999 copper. I just keep these kind of to show, look around. But guess what I do? I do 2 things here because I love my clients. So when I win a case, which happens a lot, I had these made. So this is my law office logo here. And what this is a 1 gram pure 99 fine silver. And so I give my clients there you go. So this is kind of a token of my appreciation for my clients as silver. Such a bad attorney, I can afford to buy my own custom silver, right? And then I also do these, again, because I am an investor. These are really cool. This is a pure 1 ounce copper. Don't tread on me. It's not. Whatever. Don't tread on me. Give me liberty. Give me death. Give these to my clients as well when we win a case, which happens a lot. You can see. I mean, this is my third tube, and I'm more than halfway done with this one because I want my clients to be successful as well. All right. I don't see anything else here. Hey, Chris, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't worry about. I sort of have fun with the people that don't like me. It's great. I'm fine with it. I don't care. I don't put my value in other people's opinions of me, but I do like having fun with them. And I don't think I missed anything else here. Let's see. And I see a lot of 1s in there. So apparently everyone except for Wilma Dick and her ass knows that an arrest is not a charge. All right. So I don't see anything else. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, husband was career military. I like the Raptor. Yeah, oh yeah, I love the Raptor. It's such a beautiful plane, though. I mean, no matter what your opinions are of military or whatever, it's a beautiful plane. Absolutely. All right, y'all take care. Be safe. Be free. I am going to head home. I've got court all day tomorrow because I've got 3 hearings on multiple motions and want to make sure that I can continue to make dumbasses like WD look bad by winning for my clients. And other than that, I'm out of here. You guys take care. Be safe. Be free. And again, don't forget to check out Etsy. Go to Look for Open Carry Texas if you want one of these hats. And I've got them in black and I've got them in white. The whites obviously have the black embroidery. The blacks have the white embroidery. And that's how you can help support me and help me to help others. All right, guys, take care. Be safe. I'm out.